Hi, I'm Smurfette, and I approve of this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new show. Okay? I wanted to get a little bit of changes around my channel. And this is my new fragrance review show. It's going to be called The Fragrance Club, and we're going to start, it came upon to me that my show really never had a name to it. Every show has a name, I guess. You know, and I could have easily called it Fragrance Reviews by the Humble Collector, but I mean, that to me seemed kind of boring. Okay, so welcome to the Fragrance Club, and all are welcome. So, I was looking on YouTube earlier yesterday morning, and I'm subscribed to this new, or not new. I mean, she's been a YouTuber for quite a few number of years. But yeah, Delicious Delights, and she had a video about fragrances that she loves but doesn't wear. And that just seemed intriguing to me, you know? It sounded so intriguing that I wanted to kind of borrow her idea. Of course, I asked first, you know, because I just don't borrow other people's things without asking. Okay, so I've got 5 fragrances here. This is not a countdown, you know? These are fragrances that I love, but I don't wear. Okay? So, starting this video, fragrances that I love, but I don't wear. Okay? Bulgari, Aqua, Amaura. Very weird bottle. I don't have, you know, it really doesn't sit up. I guess you could, like, lay it down like this. But very orangey, very citrusy, and usually what I look for in a, fragrance. But it's just a little bit too orangey for me. And like, during the summer, I like to wear Invictus Aqua or, you know, Aqua di Gio Profumo, you know. And I never reached for this one, and I had it almost all summer of last year. But it doesn't mean that I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, you know, this one gets a lot of praise in our community, you know, and it should, because it's a really good fragrance. I just don't reach for it, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't reach for it, if that makes sense. Okay, so Aqua Amaura by Bulgari. Next on my list is one that's gotten a lot of hype in the last year or so. And that is Montblanc's Individual. Raspberry, kind of raspberry covered chocolate vibe. This was in my this was honorable mention in my starters pack about almost a year ago when I made that video. Very strong fragrance, you know, raspberry covered chocolate kind of vibe, you know. performs really well. And you can see that I really haven't used a lot of this juice. So I really don't grab for this. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not, I just don't grab. It's just not in my daily routine. You know, there's nothing wrong with the fragrance. I recommend this to every person starting out in this game. I just don't reach for it. Okay, next on my list, it's one that's been reformulated. I think it's been reformulated a couple of times, and that's Versace Dreamer. To me, this one is a weird fragrance. I could never find a place to wear this one at. You know, Versace the Dreamer. There's nothing wrong with it. It performs, but I can't understand why I could never find an event for it, you know, or it's not a night out fragrance. I wouldn't even wear this to work, you know, because it's not that kind of fragrance, you know. I would use this simply to hang out around the house, you know? And you can see that I really haven't used it since I bought it. But I don't want to get rid of it because I don't have anything else in my collection like it, if that makes any sense at all. But of course, sometimes our collections don't have to make sense, right? Put that right there. Okay, so my next one on my list, and I have, I've talked about this fragrance in the past. I've talked about this fragrance in the past. This one, oh my god, it's a good fragrance. It's a really good fragrance. That whiskey note really shines on this one. It's a really great night out fragrance. I just don't reach for it. Out of the stuff that I have from Terry Mugler, I just don't reach for it. It makes me nauseous a little bit after I wear it a while. You know, I think that's why I don't reach for it. But there's nothing wrong with this one. It was number 2 in my countdown of Terry Mugler fragrances in my videos of last year. So, Terry Mugler Pure Malt. Very great fragrance. I don't reach for it. Okay, and next, and the last fragrance on my list, Fahrenheit 32. This, it's a really strong fragrance. Of course, you know, many of the Fahrenheits are going to be strong. The original Fahrenheit, I really can't, I can't stand it, you know. I think it's that petroleum note that is in it. And this one, that orange blossom and that vanilla together. It's a great performer, and it was one of my favorites when I first got it. And I wore it a couple of times, but I just haven't reached for it. But that doesn't mean that I don't like it. if that makes any kind of sense. I'm sure, you know, there's nothing wrong with this one. I do recommend this one for colder weather fragrances, for colder weather seasons is what I'm trying to say. And it's winter here in Texas, so you'd think I would be reaching for this, and I'm just not reaching for it. But that doesn't mean it's not a good scent, you know? So Fahrenheit 32. Great fragrance, but I just don't reach for it. Okay, so that's my countdown, well, not countdown, but my list of fragrances that are good, but I just don't reach for. And I hope that we can start a trend of this idea of a show. You know, I mentioned to the Delicious Delights that maybe we could start tagging more people, you know? So I tag 2 more people. I tag Rob with, sir, you have officially been tagged, and Mr. 2017 Fragrance Idol man himself, Messirium Lugosi, you have officially been tagged. What are fragrances that you have, but you don't reach for? Okay? Now you can choose not to do this video. You can choose to ignore my tag, but you will be letting Delicious Delights down. So I guess you kind of have to do it now. Okay, that's my show for today. Thank you very much, my humbled crowd. If you can, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And don't forget to push that little bell right there to be notified of any of my future videos. Okay? So this is the man with the best laugh in the business. I am the Humble Collector, and you guys are my humbled crowd. That's the truth, and I'm sticking to it.